guys, welcome to iFoodReal. If you're new here, my name is Olena and this is my healthy Instant Pot recipes YouTube channel. 2 years ago, I bought Instant Pot, fell in love with it and never looked back. So make sure to subscribe below and click the bell icon not to miss any new video. Today, we are making Instant Pot roast, a restaurant quality dish at home. It will cost you $100 to eat out with some red wine. Make it at home for $30. If you don't have an Instant Pot yet, you save $70 and you can buy an Instant Pot. Beef comes out juicy and tender in perfectly seasoned gravy, and you can even cook baby potatoes and carrots in the same pot and they don't come out mushy with one trick I'll show you. So let's do it. Hi guys! Hey guys! Hey guys! So here I have just a little bit over 3 pounds chuck roast. You can also use rump. Beautiful. Rump roast. The goal is, pot roast is actually a method of cooking a tough cut of meat. So the goal is to buy cheap roast beef and cook it low and slow. But because thanks to Instant Pot, we're gonna cook it super fast and it's still gonna come out tender and juicy. So you wanna remove the twine, if any. It actually, some say that it helps to become meat more tender, and it could, the twine on could prevent the meat tenderizing properly. And then you want to trim off any excess fat outside. Usually these cuts are not very marbly, so don't worry about that, because it's like more exercised part of the cow. But I'm just gonna trim off some big pieces of fat. Next, you want to season your roast in a dry rub mix that we make ourselves. So here we have salt, rosemary, garlic powder, a lot of black pepper, don't worry, and onion powder, dry thyme, and paprika. So you want to put it in a large plate that can fit in your roast so you can coat it. So here to mix. Shake it kind of like to go to the middle. So take your roast and dip it into seasoning, making sure to coat all edges. So now we are ready to sear the roast on both sides. And technically you could use frozen meat, but the problem is you cannot sear frozen meat. And I believe that actually searing the seasonings and meat adds a lot of flavor to the pot roast, so I would not recommend to use frozen meat. Alright, so you want to start by preheating your Instant Pot on saute mode. So just press saute and wait until display says hot. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes depending on the size of Instant Pot. 6-quart heats up faster and sears faster than 8-quart because of the smaller surface. So once Instant Pot says hot, you want to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You want to remove the roast, the seared roast, onto the same plate you used for rubbing it. And now we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of butter. And we will saute the onions. So you take 2 large onions and cut them into, like, I don't know, slices, very wide slices. They don't have to be thin, because onion will almost dissolve under high pressure for a long time that we're gonna cook. So when butter is melted, add onion and cook for 3 to 5 minutes until they're a little bit softened and nicely coated in seasonings and fragrant. And truth is, you could use 1 tablespoon olive oil for onions. I've done that, but I do like a little bit of sweetness and creaminess that 1 tablespoon of butter adds. So now onions are nice and softened. We want to add our liquids and deglaze the pot. So 1 cup beef stock, and here I have the homemade beef stock from making Instant Pot beef meatballs last week. I stored it and then the fat solidified on top. I discarded it, and here I have nice and good beef stock. So about 1 cup, eyeballing. My grandma in Ukraine cooked everything eyeballed, except baking. You can't eyeball that. So that's 1 cup beef stock, and then you want to add half a cup of good red wine. Red wine you would drink. Don't use like table red wine. So here I have Pinot Noir. It happens to be organic. So like aim for $10-15 bottle. If you drink $80 bottle, I probably would not add it to the pot roast. But don't go for like the cheapest one. So half a cup. Is it Friday yet? And then 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. But if you are like me, I don't have that on hand, you can use red wine vinegar. That's preferable. But if you're like me and don't have that one either, you can use apple cider vinegar. I tried balsamic vinegar and I was not a fan. So 2 tablespoons, or you can use white wine vinegar, that would be good. Or white vinegar would be fine too. And now if you had some brown bits on the bottom of the pot, make sure to deglaze, because those brown bits could cause the burn. I don't have as many, as I mentioned, like 8 quarts doesn't saute as hot as 6 quart Instant Pot. So now we can press cancel and lay roast on top of the onions. You don't need the trivet, but you can if you want, and all the drippings go on there too. But I find without a trivet is perfect because I want to fit in vegetables in there. I'll show you. We're going to add about 4 to 6 ounces of sliced brown mushrooms or portobello mushrooms. They do add flavor as well. Now, if you have the beauty of 8 quart Instant Pot is that you can cook baby potatoes and baby carrots at the same time. Last time I tested this recipe in a 6 quart, and I have to say that it doesn't quite fit the vegetables. See all this room around? That's where the pressure builds up. So once we add vegetables, we take more space. And what happened with 6 quart, it kept boiling and boiling and wouldn't come to pressure. So what you can do though is, after the roast is ready, take it out and then add your vegetables right in the gravy and close and cook on high pressure for 5 minutes. So here is the tip how to avoid mushy vegetables. You cook them in parchment paper, and here I have unbleached parchment paper, and I'm not a fan of cooking in aluminum foil. Technically it would work really nicely, but I don't want all the chemicals touching and leaching into my food. So here I have 2 pounds of baby potatoes, and I'm just gonna wrap them in parchment, hoping it's big enough. So like this, and put them on a side. And then I'm gonna do the same with carrots and put them on the other side. So put them on a side here. So here I hope that all of this space is enough for pressure buildup, and I think it is. But just in case if it's not, you will hear your Instant Pot boiling and boiling and the pin not popping up. So you can safely open the lid because it's not pressurized and remove excess vegetables and just create more room for the pressure to build up. So this is how your vegetables will not be mushy. If you drop them just like that and pressurize for an hour, they will fall apart in the sauce. Not good. Nobody likes mushy vegetables. So all we have to do now is place the lid on top, and here comes Henry. If you have upper cabinets and when we will be releasing the pressure, Henry is really good. You put him on the pressure release valve and turn it to sealing. And when we will be releasing pressure, it will come out of his ears versus shooting up and damaging your cabinets, and in our case it's the equipment. So you have the lid, the pressure valve to sealing, and now the cooking time is about 20 minutes per pound. So I have 3-pound roast, 60 minutes, 1 hour will be just fine. And then after, we will let the Instant Pot come down on its own, the pressure, for about 15 minutes, and after that we will release. You never want to kind of release pressure right away with meat because it pulls out moisture from the meat in most cases, especially with beef and roasts and big pieces of meat. So the display will say on, and Instant Pot will take about, I would say, 15 minutes to come to pressure. Again, 8-quart takes longer than 6-quart because it's larger volume. And then this pan will pop up. It means the pressure cooker is sealed, and the countdown will begin from 1 hour. And we're cooking on high pressure. You can use any pressure cooker. If you don't have Instant Pot brand, that's fine. Don't worry, any pressure cooker will do on high pressure. You're fine. All right, so after letting the pressure come down on its own for 15 minutes, we can put Henry to work. Watch this. There's not much left because we let the pressure come down, but a little bit. Look, I'm okay. I will show you the trick. I even pushed the limit. I even pushed on this knob and it comes out faster. I like to push the boundaries. Okay, go down. I know. Okay, it's done. Now we can open Instant Pot and we're almost done with our pot roast. Let's see how it looks. Looks amazing. So now we have our potatoes. I think I'm just gonna, you can either take them out, but my pouch is kind of like, I should have wrapped them better. Ooh, so I'm just gonna remove the parchment. Look, they're totally whole. No mushy vegetables. And then carrots are in here. And we can just also open. Now we have to remove the roast. And I like my pot roast sliced. I don't like it shredded. If you like shredded, you can shred it right there in the pot. But I personally like it sliced. Tender, juicy, falling apart beef. And the onions have almost disappeared. So to thicken the gravy, we're going to take 1/4 cup of cold water. It has to be cold, otherwise the cornstarch is gonna lump. And we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch and make a slurry. Somebody told me I shouldn't be using word slurry, and I will be using word slurry. Slurry, 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 slurry. Anyways, and press saute. And pour the slurry. And once it starts bubbling, the gravy will thicken. That's my other favorite word, thicken.
Thicken.
I should read more of the comments. They make videos really fun. Thicken. Thickening slurry. The key with roast is to cut meat against the grain. So the grain goes this way, so we're gonna cut this way. Look at this. Just look at this meat. It's falling apart. Super tender. and just add it back to Instant Pot. And your pot roast is ready. Oh, this is so beautiful. Just stir gently to coat meat in delicious gravy. This is Sunday dinner made easy, if you still do Sunday dinners. Or holiday meal, New Year's Eve, Christmas, Easter, anything. Pot roast, anytime. And the beauty of it is if you make it during warmer months, it doesn't heat up your house. This is amazing! Are you kidding me? I think we're ready to eat.
Taste test.
Tender, juicy beef. Hopefully we can cut with fork. No knife. Oh yeah, baby. Woo! No, that's mine.
Lots of excitement. Lots of excitement.
Okay. Super tender.
You know what my excitement? This is our dinner.
And last.
This is awesome.
I use half a cup of red wine. Last time I used 1 cup and it was too winey. Super awesome. Make it. Let us know, please, how you liked it. It's so good, honestly. Make sure to subscribe right there.
Okay. Make sure to subscribe. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Always. Bye.
Bye.